Welcome or welcome back to another session of A Day with your fertility specialist. I'm Joanna Damina, your host for today. It's always lovely to have you around. Thank you for clicking on this video. Thank you for every like, every share, and every click on these sessions that we have. On the topic of sharing, today we're going to be talking about something a little less medical and more emotional and mental and just for your overall well being. Supporting your partner through fertility treatments, right? This can be such a trying time and can feel very overwhelming. And of course, nobody needs to work through that alone. So, if you've ever thought about it, how can you actually help make your partner feel a little bit better through fertility treatment, especially if it's been rough on the both of you? Well, you might want to stick around and, hear just a little bit more of the emotional side of this topic. And if you know someone that is struggling with this, a family friend, a sister, a brother, a cousin, whoever it is, it will do them so much good if you share this with them and they have better understanding on certain things that might actually be affecting the fertility journey or how their emotional health space can feel during fertility treatments. And joining us today, we have Dr. Ken. Yes, so if you're joining us for the first time, Dr. Ken is a consultant obstetrician and gynecologist and also an IVF specialist. Hi, sir, welcome. It's always nice to have you on here.
Pleasure.
So, with all these qualifications, he's had quite a long time of seeing clients and their partners and their families and all these things. So, we're going to be looking at things a lot from his perspective. And, I just hope that it makes you feel a little bit more comforted. And yes, stick around until the end of this. And of course, leave us your questions and comments and whatever it is in the descriptions box down below, in our comments below, wherever it is. And would really love to reply to you on that. That being said, let's just dive right into it, right? We have quite a few questions today. Today is actually quite interesting for me because we're not really talking about science per se or the medicals behind, fertility. This is a lot more of the human mind, how their emotional well-being can be during this journey. And it can be very overwhelming. We've spoken about that a couple times before, I know, on my sessions with you. But from your perspective, when you see your clients, what are some of the most common challenges that you actually find between couples, individuals, anybody that is going through fertility journey?
Oh, wow. Thanks, Joanna.
Yes, sir.
For a lot of couples, it could be a real trying time,
Yeah.
with a roller coaster of emotions.
Mhm.
And I bet you the emotions are usually not the pleasant
The ones,
emotions.
yeah.
For those who have stayed for so many years before coming to the clinic
Mm-hmm.
to seek help with respect to the fertility, yeah, they may be battling with social stigmatization,
Mm-hmm.
family stigmatization,
Yeah.
I mean, extended family stigmatization, and even disharmony between the
Between themselves.
couples.
Mm-hmm.
So most times when they come to the clinic, some of them just bottle up a huge tone of emotions.
Mm.
They, they may keep, I mean, a good facade, a good front, try to look happy.
Yeah.
Yeah, but a little thing can just trigger them, and you
Mm-hmm.
see, yeah, the bad emotions that has been covered
Mm-hmm.
for a long time.
Yeah.
So often, a good number of them may just not be having very good emotions, but it's good to mention that some of them actually have good emotions,
Yeah.
but majority are coming with one form of worries,
What the other?
fear,
Mm.
confusion, and fear and confusion.
Mm-hmm.
So these are the emotions actually that
That you
go
see.
with fertility challenges often.
Yeah.
Sometimes rejection,
Mm.
Yeah, and this can actually be very
Quite a
intimidating.
deep
It's either the
feeling.
woman is being rejected by the guy,
Mm,
or the woman is being rejected by the society, or by the guy's
family,
extended
yeah.
family. Even when the problem may be the man's problem,
Mm,
the woman bears the
the
brunt.
brunt of it.
You know,
That's true.
so yeah, that's how bad it gets.
Mm,
That's how bad it really gets. So the emotions are actually very interesting
yeah,
emotions,
yeah.
and majority maybe negative emotions, even when they are not facing any rejection,
Mm-hmm.
may just be negative emotions.
So
Yeah.
how would you say, when you have this case, you said, of course, there is a two-way thing, right?
Hmm.
In a couple that comes, just assume with a couple,
Yeah.
it might be the male factor, or it might be the female factor. How would you say, depending on what it is? I know it's going to be a wide range of things, but how the opposite sex can apply some sort of can provide some meaningful support to the other, because I know, I mean, generally this one is it's not even a conservative thing, but men are more logical and then women are more emotional. So how do you see that play out when you have partners trying to support each other in your consultations and things like that?
Okay. Let me say something before this.
Mm-hmm.
Um, a good number of the couples will have blamed themselves,
Yeah.
before coming to the clinics,
Hmm.
only waiting for the doctor to confirm what the diagnosis is.
Hmm.
And then you just see the guy, maybe the guy looking at his female partner, and saying, "You see what I told you?
Yeah.
The problem is the fallopian tubes."
Hmm.
And then if they are being blaming themselves before coming, and maybe the guy has an upper hand in the blaming game, and then it turns out that the sperm is bad, and sperms can really be bad.
Yeah.
You see the woman say, "Oh, like, all right,
It's not
that's
me.
yeah, it's not
It's
me."
you.
That kind of,
Yeah.
so you could tell that it's not been very rosy for these
Mm-hmm.
couples. So they need the doctor's verdict or diagnosis to
Yeah.
vindicate or justify what they have been saying. So
Same
that tells
behavior.
you that there has been conflict
Mm-hmm.
before they arrive the clinic,
Yeah.
and just waiting for the doctor to be the judge
Mm.
before they decide how
And you don't
to.
even know that
Oh
they're just
yeah,
waiting for you.
sometimes we see,
Sometimes you
yeah,
don't even know,
exactly.
and then they
You
just
know,
pick on one thing you say, and
Exactly.
yeah.
For instance, I had seen some couples. I mean, international clients.
Mm.
Sometimes, and all the while, the problem seems to be with the woman. And the woman actually believed the problem was
That's
hers.
us.
Yeah, because already she has gone to the advanced age
Mm-hmm,
category, and
mm-hmm.
when you're advanced age, you always have problems
Yeah.
with fertility.
True.
And then we ran seminal fluid analysis, and the sperms were just nothing to write home about.
Hmm.
And the guy goes defensive. He had already been blaming the wife,
Yeah.
doing all of that. The woman was already defeated, knowing that she has the blame
Hmm.
and all of that. So, and then boom, the sperm was not good. And he started almost fighting with the doctor, rejecting the diagnosis.
Yeah.
But then the woman did something very interesting. I watched them in my consulting room. She just reached out to her partner and held his hands quietly. She was crying,
Oh.
but held his hands quietly,
Hmm.
telling him with no voice that we are here together.
Yeah.
We will solve this together. And before now, the guy was feeling like a champion.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
the problem is yours. The problem is ours.
Yeah.
Then the woman came from a very matured
Point.
emotional perspective,
Yeah.
and then they had to go this way together. So
Mm.
that's the support coming from her,
Yeah.
you know and I think that's a very healthy way to go about uh, this kind of stuff. So
Actually
what was the
trying to
question you asked
find.
again? I changed your question.
Yeah, but I was just saying, you've actually answered it a little bit with this example that you gave,
Okay.
or this consultation that you gave, talking about how the woman came from a different point of view, a more
Mm-hmm.
mature point of
Mm-hmm.
view, and just said, okay, yes, this was a you problem. At
Mm.
this point, it's not just a me problem, it's now our problems. So I think
Exactly.
that's more, it answers my question a little, because we're talking about how one partner or the other can actually provide meaningful support. And this time around, it didn't even need to be vocal. Yes.
Exactly. Just the
So
touch.
yeah.
Touch from her was very reassuring. Of
Mm-hmm.
course, you could see the guy vibrating.
Yeah.
You know, when men are angry sometimes, they just vibrate everywhere, shakes,
Yeah.
thunderous shaking.
Yeah.
And she was quiet and reached out and touched him. At that point, felt like shedding tears. But we used to hide, we hide
Of
emotions
course.
sometimes. Someone has to be strong for everyone
Yeah.
here, okay? So that's a very good
Mhm.
support point. So, as against when others blame themselves, fertility challenges, though the diagnosis may lie with one partner, but the best way to see it is that we're in this together
Yeah.
and we would stand and sort these problems
All
all
together.
together,
Mm-hmm.
supporting themselves all the way. You know, it takes harmony to achieve results with fertility treatment.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I guess you're going to talk about that later.
Yes, we will. We'll definitely talk about that going forward. But I have here, sometimes it may feel a bit difficult to offer that support because you feel helpless,
Mm.
right? There's a diagnosis that has been told to you or that has been made, and then the other partner that may not have as much of an issue or may not
Mm.
even have an issue at all feels totally helpless when it comes to trying to support their partner. I mean, what can you actually do in that situation?
Fertility journey, sometimes it's okay to feel helpless, but there's something that your presence does
Hmm.
when you are with your partner. For instance, you see different fertility treatment with different level of hospital visits.
Yeah.
You may be helpless as a partner, whether the female or the male partner.
Mm-hmm.
You may not even understand the science of the treatment that is going on,
Yeah.
but there's something that can be reassuring if you go to the clinic with your partner.
Mm.
Try to understand what the doctors
I'm
or the
saying.
nurses are saying and try to be available for the partner. For instance, if you're doing an IVF treatment, for a woman comes to the hospital frequently, or occasionally they give themselves the jab at home.
Mm.
So, whichever way it is, if a woman is giving herself the jab, a partner, the male, the husband, can support by learning how to give the jab to the
Mm.
woman.
Yeah.
And that makes her feel we are in this together.
Yeah. I'm here
That's a
for
big
you.
support.
Mm-hmm.
How about if he tells her that, hey, our job is in 2 hours time?
Yeah. It's like you're intentional about it. You're
Exactly.
thinking
And he
about it.
comes, we have 30 minutes to our job.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe she's preparing meal in the house and hey, it's time for our job.
Yeah.
He goes to the kitchen with the jab and give it to her.
Mm-hmm.
Because there are these controlled spacer devices that you just program and it just delivers the exact amount.
Yeah.
You just give it to her. Because giving yourself a jab is always not easy.
True.
As a doctor, I inject myself
Yeah.
occasionally, when there's nothing else to do.
Mm-hmm.
I know how difficult it can be. And
Yeah.
it's easier when someone else does
Does
that
it
to
for you?
you.
Yeah.
The hospital visit can be very frequent.
Mm-hmm.
And then you could reduce the visit if you learn how to do some of those things. So the partner can do that for his. So you see, if they do this together,
Yeah.
the woman feels supported.
Mm-hmm.
She feels that the guy is involved. And it brings closeness and harmony
Yeah.
and reassurance, knowing that you're not going through this treatment
Mm-hmm.
alone.
Yeah.
And even if you choose to go to the hospital and you take her to the hospital, you don't stay in the car waiting for her to go
To go and
down
do
and take the jab
everything.
and
Yeah.
come in.
Mm.
If the nurses wants to give her the jab, ask the nurses, can I come along?
Yeah.
When she gets the jab or while she's getting the jab, there's nothing stops you from holding her
Holding hands.
hands,
Yeah.
you know,
That's so
and they're
cute.
telling her, thank you for doing this for us.
Mm-hmm.
We will be through with this hopefully soon. And I hope this works for all of us. So it just gives that support because people going through fertility challenges are usually depressed.
Yeah.
And just little gestures of kindness, support, encouragement can make a whole world of difference for them. So that's what happened with uh, IVF treatment, for
Yeah.
instance. And then maybe the doctor gives her a set of medication. This IVF medication can be crazy sometimes.
Yeah.
Like when they take in the GnRH analog,
Mm-hmm.
the little jab they take under the skin
Yeah.
before, before doing the while they are doing the long protocol or something. Nothing stops the guy from asking, what's the side effect of this medication?
Mm.
Because some of this medication makes the woman mad.
Yeah, that's actually something that was going to come up in these things.
Because it makes mood swings.
Yes.
It gives hot flushes.
Mm.
It gives headache. And then maybe you're just at home and the woman starts crying.
And you're just lost. You're not even prepared
You
for
understand?
something like
So
that to
you can just
happen.
come close and, hey, I know it's a side effect of this drug. How many more
Yeah.
days do we even have? Should I call the doctor? Should I call the clinic? What should we do?
Yeah.
Is there anywhere I can be of help? Just be there and give her the support, talk, and all of that. That would help. So, but the problem is that a good number of women feel alone in this treatment. Well, from what I see
Yeah.
in okay, yeah, I've walked across the globe. What I see in Europe is different from what I see in Africa. In Europe, for instance, the men often come along with the woman to the clinic and they get really involved. Yeah, from my own perspective.
Yeah.
But in Africa, it's slightly different. Few men do that, but often you see the women in the clinic alone,
No.
And
That's
then
super
when they
sad.
find an opening to vent, you hear all the troubles
Yeah.
they've been going through. And so you just kind of feel that they're alone. And sometimes the in-laws don't make these things any better, and you have to keep every secret, not wanting them to know that you're even doing assisted reproduction technology
Exactly. Yeah.
because they feel you are a subhuman.
But it's just a lot,
It's
going
just a
around this.
lot.
There's internal turmoil, there's external
Exactly.
turmoil.
Just
Like, I
fighting the
just
whole world all
imagine.
by yourself.
Yeah.
So, but then if you have your partner on your side, together you can actually weather the storms.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Well, I know we've spoken about the just being there, asking. I'm smiling so much. You can tell I'm in love, girl. Like, you just saying, "Oh, we can do this together." I mean, the whole scenario that you're thinking has my mind racing. Like, it's not like I need to be in the assisted productive phase of my life, but just having that support, it just already sounds like a dream. But I know sometimes you might feel a bit overbearing.
Yeah.
Sometimes, especially like you said, there's mood changes and things like that. So you just say they should, take a step back when they see those changes in the mood swing. Because I know myself, I'm a woman, right? I don't know how many other women are like me, but when I'm going through that time of the month or my cycle, I don't want to be around people. But then if you stay away for too long, and I'm like, why are you not giving me attention? Things like that. So how do you balance actually supporting their partner, or how do you say they could balance that without being overbearing in those moments?
Oh, well, I think even at moments when the woman wants to be alone, just as you said, it doesn't mean the man should let her be alone. You should just stick around.
Yeah.
Because it's mood swing. She doesn't know what she's doing. Just like when women are getting into menopause, for instance, they're just like little mad people on the streets. Apologies to that. Because the hormone makes them crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, they just mood swing, then you're hot all of a sudden, and they don't just know what's going on. They are confused. Their memory span is shortened. They can't pay attention. To something for long. That attention span is also shortened and all of that. So if the guy understands all of these things and he sees this negative trait manifesting, you know that this is just transient for a woman going through assisted reproduction technology, for instance. Even if she's going through menopause, it's just a natural thing. You just adjust. So you would be relating with her based on human physiology. Understanding of the human physiology. So even if she wants to be alone, no, you don't let her be alone, because that's a moment for depression. Stay and give her distractions. In Europe, for instance, you have some guys coming to our clinics and say, okay, they have to be with their woman and doing embryo transfer, and they're holding the hands of their woman.
Wow.
and embryo transfer is going on.
Wow.
You know,
It's
so
interesting.
that's a beautiful sight to
Of
behold,
course, yeah.
because the woman feels she's not alone,
Mm-hmm.
and they leave and go and stay in the room together until it's time for her to go to her residence.
Yeah.
So these are little areas where you can support, even when they want to be alone because they are already going through the mood swing. You stick around.
Yeah.
And that's how to do it. Yeah.
Mm.
So they need all the support.
That you can
You
actually
know,
get.
just last 2 weeks, something interesting happened in the United States.
Okay.
In the United States, is the American football. I think that's what they call it, football.
Mm.
This kind of football they play with the hands, and they dress themselves with all this masculine,
Yeah, that's
that
you
kind of
have the
stuff,
pads and all of that.
exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah, American football,
American
the
football.
NFL team.
Yeah.
So we have this very good guy
Mhm.
who is a key figure in his team, in his club. So his wife was undergoing an assisted, let me say, they are undergoing assisted reproduction technology.
Mhm.
He is needed as a key figure in the team. He made a press release that at this time they are undergoing assisted reproduction technology as a couple and as a family. And because of that, he's dropping all his official
Wow.
engagement
Wow.
that they have to go through all the procedure or processes
Together.
together with his wife. Apologies to any inconveniences this action may cause.
Oh my gosh.
How would that woman want to get successful?
Yes, of
Because
course.
already you have already made her feel she's the most important thing.
thing.
And by the way, you're not doing it just for her, you're doing it for yourself. Already she feels supported, and not just coming when she has finished all the job to come give sperms and you disappear. But he
Yeah.
said he is sticking around until
the entire
everything
thing.
finishes. And he made headlines
Yeah.
in the United States,
So
supporting your partner to achieve a result in assisted reproduction technology.
I mean, this already seems like such a mood booster.
Oh, yeah.
You already feel completely
Exactly.
backed up.
Because you see,
to whatever
a woman, I'm not a specialist in women. I mean, in woman psychology or in
Just the
relationship.
anatomy.
Well, anatomy and physiology.
Right?
How about you and me? Anatomy, I agreed. Anatomy and physiology.
Okay.
So a woman doesn't want to know that she's playing a second fiddle to anything in a man's life.
Yeah.
A woman wants you to rate her above your parents, want you to rate her above even the children, want you to rate her above your work.
Yeah.
If you could do that for a woman who understands, then you'll be the star that she knows. And for this baseball player, I don't know if baseball, this football player, for instance, he will be the star of this whole procedure because he has left his macho, left his responsibility to stick with his wife to achieve a family result. Women like that. That's why you see, if you have kids, for instance, and the man shows so much attention, pays so much attention to the kids, wives always fight. And now, okay, so you've gotten new wives, right? But at the same time, if you exalt them above everything else, you become the star they know. So this footballer was now the hero of the season for men who will need to support their wives. You need to be with her all the time.
I mean, I can imagine how many people are out there swooning like, wow, you could do this because that's your career, that's your livelihood, and you're putting all that away for someone. It's not just the grandiosity of it, it's that very minimal thought that, yes, this person really does care about me.
And you know what? For men who even really care, if your partner is going through such kind of delicate, advanced gynecological procedure and you're not there, you'll be prone to making mistakes.
Yeah.
If I'm a coach, for instance, and I know that a player's wife is going to have a C-section, I won't let him play. Yeah, I won't let him play because he will make mistakes. Yeah, except if he's a beast and he doesn't care about a woman.
Exactly.
He's going to make mistakes. He will be the weak point in the team.
Yeah.
So you see, so he's not just letting the team down, but he's taking some time out so the team can figure out how to be strong for itself.
Exactly.
Because he will have a divided attention.
Mm-hmm.
And if you know something about football, football requires 100% focus.
Yeah.
And that is why I like watching football sometimes. I like seeing them when they're walking into the pitch. Watched the English Premier League
They
guys,
look
for
like
instance.
they're walking into a ring.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And you see the depth of concentration.
Mm-hmm.
Plugging their ears with ear plugs so they don't hear unnecessary sounds.
Yeah.
They want to be internally focused, in what they're doing. So, but if you have divided attention already, it means you're going to have problems.
Of course.
And that's why if you have emotional problem, you're not going to be a very good fix in a game.
Yeah.
So you need to be mentally stable. Or else they get a psychologist to fix him before the match, and they keep fixing him while the match is going on.
Meanwhile, all he needed to do was just take.
But just stay away. Yeah. Exactly. Go concentrate. It's a family thing. Yeah. Concentrate. So the guy did well. So these are the kind of supports we'd like to see, and not just feeling that because it's a blocked tube situation or no egg situation, the problem is hers. Go fix the problem. Yeah. And sometimes the guys say, the problem is hers. It's not me.
Yeah.
So doctor, concentrate on her. That's quite mean.
Yeah.
That's quite mean.
I mean, even hearing those words coming out of your
it's mean. So I hear this word often.
Yeah. Oh, that's really sad.
Yeah, I hear this word often.
Really sad.
But on the average, I see that women seem to be a little more supportive than men. But I've also seen women who refuse to support their husbands. Yeah, and that's quite mean.
It is really on both ends. I mean,
both ends. Yeah, I've seen
you chose
women.
this person to be your partner, so there should be some level of forethought that things are going to come up. I can't say everything is going to be as difficult as the fertility journey, but yes, having chosen this person, you do need to support that person through those difficult times.
So you see, when you have that support, you have harmony, you have peace, and some reassurance. The Bible says that the merry heart does good like medicine. You have better results when the mind is at peace. So this support, forget about the beauty of science and all the things science has to do. We have to get that correct, get that right. But the support brings harmony to everything and make that little bit of spark that can result in success.
Well, I mean, that's a very interesting way to look at it, or a very interesting phenomenon that actually is very real. Apart from the fact that science is there, I think even the last time I was on here, we're talking about how more optimistic women have a little bit of a higher chance at succeeding because of the way your mind works, your mind to body connection and all those things. So, well, if you're struggling with this out there and you're the partner and your partner has had this diagnosis made and then you're thinking, oh, it's a them problem, please think twice about that. Just you being there in a small way, just laying with them or just walking in with them into the hospital, being there when they're taking their injections or medicines or whatever it is, their consultations, is a huge step for them. It means so much more than you could actually think, and it might just be a little something for you, but you don't know how it's going to help that person feel so much better. Well, I've been waiting for this topic. It's a bit of an interesting one, and it's a little bit out of the conservative one. Let's talk about intimacy, right? Sex during an IVF or assisted reproductive technology, especially when it feels scheduled. Intimacy is quite important in relationships with people, and whenever it feels like there has to be a timing to it, or you can't do it for a certain amount of time. I know that can actually cause some how would I say, it can cause a fracture or something in that harmony that we're speaking about. So how do we help couples maintain that emotional and physical closeness during that period when intimacy cannot vouched for at that point?
Oh, well, I think to a large extent it starts from the mind.
Yeah.
Let's start from a situation where sex is prescribed as a part of a fertility treatment. This is a basic fertility treatment where you have ovulation induction and timed intercourse. Can you imagine timed intercourse? That sounds interesting, isn't it?
It does.
Timed intercourse.
I mean, who would think of that?
Timed intercourse. So the couple needs some education. They need education, they need information, because uh, when pregnancy becomes really a challenge, you know, and then you now say, okay, you make intercourse look timed.
Yeah.
Oh, you have to have intercourse at this social time. You need to have intercourse at this time. It makes it so regimented, and the spark for intercourse is taken out. But if they have good understanding and attend clinics together, and follow the processes through together, it becomes a lot easy, because they build friendship and bond,
Yeah.
while the treatment is on. So it becomes easy to have those kind of intimacy when ovulation has been induced and triggered. The issue here usually is this: when subfertility or infertility is a challenge, the women usually get aggressive when it gets to having those sex, and they make the men lose the spark for having the sex. That's what I have seen from complaints of men,
Yeah.
that she just called me, let's have sex. Is that how sex works? No, but this is already prescribed by the doctor.
Yeah, but
It's part of the prescription, timed intercourse,
yeah.
you know. And so it becomes difficult. I've seen guys who just walk to the office, say, I don't even understand. My wife only have sex when it's time for ovulation.
Oh, wow.
You know,
Just feels
at that
draining.
point, she may have some mood swings. I mean, she may just not be her normal, real, happy, jovial self.
Yeah.
And then just call the man. Please, the doctor said we should meet. It's time. Let's meet. So I think the talk around that time should be a little bit cordial, and in as much as it is prescribed as a medical intervention at that point in time, some friendship, harmony, you know, should play around so that sex can just work smoothly and easily.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I've seen couples who have come and say, okay, yeah, we couldn't meet, we're fighting.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, talking about that education, I think if both of them know why they need to have timed intercourse, it can make it a little less cumbersome. Maybe just sending each other a nice text throughout the day, or buying something that your partner would like, so that when you come to have that intercourse during that time, you already feel calm, you're already much more how would I say, you're feeling a little less aggressive, and you're looking forward to being with that person.
Exactly.
Yeah.
This is a healthy way to just go around it, or about it. Okay, yeah, this is just a healthy way to go about it. But then it doesn't just play out this
No,
way
it can't do that all
often.
the time.
It doesn't
Yes.
play out this way often. Usually I've seen women who say they are just tired of having sex, that the sex doesn't even provide pregnancies. So they're tired.
I can imagine.
You understand?
Yeah.
So anytime they hear the word sexual intercourse, it's like, oh, this useless venture
It's like
again.
punishment.
It's
at
like,
this point.
exactly,
Yeah.
that they don't understand the use of the sex. It's not bringing about pregnancy.
Anything. Yeah.
So it's quite interesting, because some women think sex is just to get pregnant. Yeah, it's to get pregnant when it's a fertility issues we're dealing with, but harmony is just the way. So they all have to agree,
Yeah.
be united, and put other parties away from the matters,
Yeah.
and just be alone and try to achieve this goal. So yeah, sex can be a challenge, but sometimes you need it to go through fertility treatment.
I mean, it seems like, I think just because of how often you've spoken about some of these things, you jump ahead before I even think of it. So I was actually going to talk about those external factors, and then you already answered it a little bit, try to keep them away. How can couples actually protect their relationship and their emotional states from family, their in-laws, and all those other things around, and just putting so much pressure on them?
My problem, what I've seen so far, is that civilization and social exposure is very deficient in most African, well, to a large extent, in some African society.
Yeah.
And because this is the situation, you find that you don't have cooperation and understanding along the family line. You see a couple going through fertility treatment and they don't want their parents to know because the parents don't understand
What it
and are
is.
rather going to cause trouble knowing that assisted reproduction is being done than making peace and support. But I've seen parents at the same time who brought their kids to the clinic, stood by them, paid for their treatment, and encouraged them to have assisted reproduction technology. So it's level of exposure. So some families don't have this exposure, and so there's trouble all the way. It's so much more that a sister doesn't want her immediate elder or younger sister to know she's doing this. And they say, oh, Ken, nobody must know. Even when they come with the sisters to the clinic, the sister must not know that they're doing assisted reproduction technology. So what the hell is going on? So it's lack of understanding, lack of education, lack of civilization, and lack of social development. That's what I think is going on. And until this thing is sorted, we will not get the full level of support, understanding, and cooperation from the society. Then it's even worse when you bring the religious sect to it.
Just that one is a whole ball game.
It's a whole ball game. Some religions feel that assisted reproduction technology is sinful. That they feel that pregnancy that is conceived without intercourse is not conceived in love, and that the kids are not born in love. I say, come on, man, you're trying to change the course of nature.
Really though, because I feel like I feel like going through a fertility journey with your partner is one of is a great testament of love. Especially if you're supportive of each other. That's a lot of love to give and to
Good
get.
girl. That is my perspective too. I was like, spontaneous pregnancy costs you nothing. It's just casual. But assisted reproduction technology costs you something. It costs you sacrifice. It costs you pain. It costs you money. It costs you time, togetherness, cooperation, and all of that. That is love on its own. Love is not when it's easy. Love is when you achieve it despite all the odds. So if you ask me, I feel kids conceived with that through assisted reproduction technology are conceived in more love than those that just spontaneous.
Look at you. Well, for my last question, it's a bit of a downer, but it's also something that is quite important because it's something that can happen when treatments fail in an IVF or assisted reproductive technology. How can partners, grieve together or go through that process together? Instead of having one person going through all the problems by themselves and maybe losing the pregnancy or not even getting pregnant in the first place, even through that.
This is a very important aspect. I think it's even bigger than all the things we've said. Now you have to understand the man and you understand the woman before you could answer this question. Men have different style of grieving.
Wow. Okay.
A man can be quiet, not talking, and even avoiding the partner, but he is grieving. Sometimes grieving more than the woman. Yes. A woman's grief has to go with mood, withdrawal from social activities, crying and tearing and all of that. And that's how a woman grieves. And the man grieves too. And often the woman would think this man doesn't even care. But you may not know that he cares beyond your imagination. But then there should be a balance.
Of course.
If the woman grieves openly, the man should stand by her. Even if he doesn't feel like grieving, he should act grieving. So that the woman would feel that, this is true. And he should be sincere about it. Even if he does not crying, if she's crying, wipe the tears. Hold her hands. Support her and say some things that encourage her so that she'll get out of this. The problem is when you leave her to herself.
That isolation
does a lot of harm.
It unlocks a lot more negative
Exactly.
thoughts.
We've had clients who just feel an IVF treatment cycle and the next thing they're about to commit suicide.
Ooh.
Oh yes.
It's really rough.
It's that bad. And we have clients who just failed and the next thing you hear that they've separated or they've gotten divorced.
Yeah.
And that is why we must take the treatment of all these clients as serious as possible, because you never know what happens to them next
Yeah.
after succeeding or failing.
That's true.
So the grieving period is very important.
Mm.
They should be supported by the clinic. They should be supported. They should also support
Each other.
themselves.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's just what I think we need to understand at this point. And the man shouldn't just wait for the woman to go to the clinic to find out the next thing.
Mm.
He can go to the clinic on
On
behalf
her
of the
behalf.
woman
Yeah.
so that she takes time to recover.
Yeah.
So understand the woman or your woman, then support her in a way that she feels supported. Women feel supported differently,
Yeah.
But I must say at this point, before you round up, that women should also understand the plights of men when they are going through assisted reproduction technology. Now, this may just be African related, in quotes. Some women have 4 girls, for instance, and the men become so important in society and they want a male child.
Yeah.
I have seen several women disapproving of that, claiming that all kids are children. Yes, they are, but they're all not the same.
Yeah, yeah, especially in society
You
such as
understand?
ours.
It's always good for males and females, as in kids, to grow in the same environment, in the same
Yeah.
house.
Yeah.
Their development, exposure to the world, and worldview is balanced when you have them. And also, there are some males that are built for the kingdom. I mean, for the throne or for some placement in the society.
Yeah.
And if a man is well placed and doesn't have them, society is not balanced. Because traditionally, in every society, the males are those that continue the family line.
Yeah.
So most times you see women say, no, this is not okay. I'm not supporting. Let him do it all by himself. So this is not actually good.
Yeah.
If you look at the Jewish religion, for instance, males are respected. I'm not saying women shouldn't be
No,
respected.
of course.
Women should be respected. In Islam, the same thing. In Christianity, the same
Same
thing.
thing. Yeah.
I'm sure in Hindu and Buddhism and all of
Yeah, I'm
those things,
pretty sure Hindu is same thing. Yeah.
males have a special place, and men wants to have them so that the family line, I mean the lineage will not be broken.
Yeah.
You know, so when that comes, the woman should support. And when the man needs to take sperm donation, the woman needs to also be of support to him.
Yeah.
You know, and not make him feel he is the
Any
weakest
less, yeah,
of
the
all
man.
men.
Yeah.
I've had to deal with a lot of problems. And when this got to me was one night, when a client of mine called me. He said, Ken, do you know what I'm going through? At that point, I decided to humble myself and listen. He said, do you know what it means to take sperm donation that you advised me to? Do you know what it means? I said, well, I've always advised people, maybe you should tell me what it means. You mean a child walk past me in my house, and I keep thinking that it's not my sperm that bring about this baby.
That's really
How does that
bad.
make me feel?
Hmm.
I said, well, that's a tough one. And
Yeah.
I appreciate the depth of this perspective. He said, that's how I feel. Less of a man. And then the woman was making, of course, all the things she wants to make
Oh, come
about
on.
it.
I mean, that's
So the same way that men shouldn't criticize women for taking egg donation, women should also not criticize men.
yeah.
We're just doing all of this to move forward.
Exactly.
I've had a woman, I was just returning from Barcelona, landed in Nigeria, and my phone rang at midnight.
Waiting for you.
Oh, wow. I said, Ken, I said, what's happening? And she was crying. Now, what is it? I'm going to kill myself. I said, come on, what's going on? That my husband said that this baby doesn't belong to me.
Wow.
Yeah, because they've had some quarrels that morning and they were just taking it out on themselves. How do you say that?
It's really sad.
And that because of that, she wants to take her life.
Of course, I mean.
So these are stuff that shouldn't come up. After all, people adopt babies.
Yeah.
Babies that don't come from your gametes
At
and my
all,
gametes.
yeah.
They adopt them. So
Complete
how about
strangers.
egg donation or sperm donation?
Yeah.
So whatever the challenge is, be it egg donation, sperm donation, companionship during assisted reproduction technology, grieving together, assisting someone to go through the process easily,
Yeah.
you have to support, whether a man or a woman. That makes the world go smooth.
Yeah.
So that's it. Everyone should support. Because I've seen women who fail to support their husband, and the husband goes all out and do what they have to do. And then the bigger problem now
Will
happens,
comes in, yeah.
you know, and they have to solve it.
Yeah.
And some of the
Sounds
problem
very
cannot
good.
be solved.
Of course, I mean, if you go all the way to the deep end, there's no coming back from that. But
So
yeah.
it's a world full of emotion. Assisted reproduction technology,
Yeah.
full of controversy. Controversy is increasing to the heavens. I love the
Of
controversies.
course you do.
Yeah, I love the controversy. That makes us happy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it makes us happy, and I like it when it get complicated at the same time.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. But the
It's
emotions are
interesting. Yeah,
interesting,
it is
and they should
actually.
be helped.
Well, thank you, Dr.
Oh
Ken.
yeah,
Yeah, it's very interesting hearing this from your point of view. Before we go, I have one comment from Facebook from Noella. She says this was around the time where you were talking about how men can support their wives better or their partners
I'm
better.
sure she liked what I
Of
said.
course, you listen to this. Wow, Dr. Ken, men need to come and learn these lines from you. These words are definitely soothing and healing for a woman going through the fertility journey. So, yes, many push come and take notes from Dr. Ken. So, yes, thank you so much for this. I hope if you have been struggling with this or you've even thought about it and you've had a difficult moment in the past or at this present time with your partner or even with yourself, you feel a little more reassured. And some of these little things that we've spoken about today, you can take that home and just think about it and think about how much better that would make your relationship and your emotional space with your partner. Thank you so much for joining us. We really do appreciate having you on here every time. This has been a very interesting session for me, and I hope it was for you too. Thank you for sharing if you did. And if you didn't, don't worry, you have next time to do that. We go live every Wednesday and Friday by 3 p.m. and we have a lot more interesting topics to talk to you about or to discuss with you about. Yes, so follow us on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, I mean, everywhere. Yes, you can turn on your post notifications there. In case you forget that it's 3 p.m., your phone will remind you for us, and then you can come around and have these interesting conversations with us. Have a lovely day. Bye.